You may recall how I was concerned yesterday that I might lose the detailing in the top of that little piece. Well, it seems to be quite visible. And I'm not going to give it a second coat. I'm just going to leave well enough alone. Many of the scenes in my workshop videos are extremely similar. Like, how often haven't we done spraying already? Probably 10, 20 times. There's only so many different ways that I can do it to make it interesting. There's basically only one way you can do it, and that's aim the camera at the subject. However, this time we're going to be using a water-based acrylic primer on the photo etch. It was recommended by Tony, who has been extremely helpful to us during this build with suggestions. And do you remember way back about 150 episodes ago, he sent that model that he didn't want to complete himself, and I could use it as practice with the spray and with the airbrush, so I've learned to listen to what he says when it comes to spraying. And he says that if you use this on photo etch first, and then he recommended let it dry for 24 hours, even though the instructions on the back indicate that it will dry faster. He says it'll be a little better for 24 hours. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to spray this with this stuff. And this comes, when I got it from Amazon, it came 3 bottles, black, gray, and white. We'll start out with the black, and then the next time we do photo etch, we'll use the gray. And then the next time we'll do the white, and just see which one seems to work the best, at least for me. This won't fit in my paint shaker, but it shakes up and it sounds like there's just water in there. So it's probably extremely thin. The difference is on the back it says spray at where is it, 20 to 30 pounds, I think it's suggested, and also Tony recommended that. So that's what I've already done. I've already adjusted the regulator for almost 30 pounds. I find that this thing sprays a lot better at high pressure anyway. So we'll put a little in and we'll give it a try. And what I'm going to do is, as I did before with these ones here, that have to be painted on both sides. Okay. After I get the one side done, I'll set them to the side, let them dry a little bit. Then I'm going to turn them over, and I've got a couple of blanks here that I'm going to put them on and then spray the other side. But there isn't very much to spray here, so we shouldn't need very much. There's these 3 little things, a ladder, and 2 of these things, and that's it. Anyway, we've used up half the video just talking here. Let's see what we can do. Maybe I put too much on there, I'm not sure. Tony did say that you could put it on fairly heavy, but I think maybe that's too heavy, I'm not sure. Okay, so what do I think of it now? Well, it went pretty good on the first one, and then my airbrush started to clog for some reason. And got it to go again by back flushing. And then it clogged again. Then I couldn't get it to go at all. I ended up sort of semi-cleaning the airbrush with isopropyl alcohol. And then when I put in some more of this stuff, I guess the isopropyl thinned it out and it seemed to do good. But now whether or not the coat that I put on is going to be as good as it would have been otherwise, I don't know. I do know that when I pulled these pieces off of the double-sided tape, it didn't seem to scratch, and this is only after like half an hour. I cleaned my airbrush before I pulled them off of here. And I did notice that on the backs of this one and this one, there is remnants of double-sided tape, which is too bad. So I've got to come up with a different way of fastening something like this onto my blocks. I'll think of something. Anyway, here I'll zoom in on these. Okay, I got my lens opened up almost 2 stops over what the light meter wants because of this white background. Hopefully you'll be able to possibly see any texture that's on these things. The underside of the steps didn't get painted, but that's okay, it can't be seen anyway. Let's leave it for a few hours and then we'll stick the gray on and see what happens. That little ladder that we just painted with the primer. Well, I've got it temporarily set up on the ship where it's supposed to go, and you're right now viewing it from the front. However, if you swing around and view it from the back and look sort of at an upward angle, the bare photo etch really shows up badly. So I guess I'm going to have to paint the other side. Remember I said we're not going to see it anyway? I guess I was wrong again. Well, I have concluded that this stuff here, this double-sided tape, it just sticks too good. In fact, it sticks to whatever you happen to are trying to, have it stick to. And the sticky stuff sticks onto it. So I'm thinking I'm going to probably be a lot better off. Let's see if I can carefully pick this up. Well, where's my other tweezers? Okay. Now, it's my opinion that even though the area that is adhering to the gum on this piece of tape is very, very small, it's still plenty strong enough that it's not going to fall off. Now, I don't know, sometimes something like this will get blown off, especially if you're, running at around 30 pounds per square inch pressure on the airbrush. However, I think I'm probably going to have a lot better luck if I use this type of tape on really small stuff like this. Yeah. Now, as long as we're talking about stuff that works and doesn't work, this rotator will work well on something like this when it is this way up. However, when it is this way up, it doesn't seem to want to get into the inside corners. I don't know why. I noticed that when I was doing it, when I was doing these, that I had to stop this thing and do the inside corners separately. It will work really good on anything round that is large, or something very small that is not round. It'll work pretty good. It seems to have its limitations. It's a good idea, but it doesn't do everything really well. Well, as you can see, I've removed my ladder from the model. And I think the best thing for me to do is paint the underside first. And then let it dry a little bit, flip it over, and then paint the top. Reason being is the bottom isn't as important as the top. Now, if you hold these things up to the light, you can see where the hole is. And then make a little pinhole, and in that way, it's easy to get whatever you're going to put on there in the dead center of rotation. Well, you get the idea. Okay, let's test this out. Did I get my pinhole perfect? Probably not. This is the first time I'm trying this. Yeah, it's off about a millimeter, I guess. Anyway, it's a lot better than it would have been otherwise. No, because this turns out to be a bit of a fiasco, and I'm not 100% sure what fiasco means, but I think it kind of fits here for what's going to happen. Yeah, I'm just going to sort of zip through it and get to the bottom line. Guess I better wait a little longer. Well, I have set myself back a couple hours here. Some of you probably already picked up on what happened. This is my dark gray. This is the light gray. So, got to do them all again. What I've done here now is I've just done a back flush cleaning, which means that I would put pure isopropyl in here, a few drops, hold this down, put my hand out, my finger over the end here. The paint would be forced back up into the reservoir, and then as soon as I released it, then the isopropyl would go through the nozzle and just go back and forth like this, and then change it. I did that probably, I'm guessing 6 or 7 times. And finally, what is coming out of here is so clear it doesn't even darken the white paper. Anyway, yeah, just wait another few minutes here now and give these a chance to dry a little better. And do them again. I won't show it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Hey, Cortana. Give me a definition of the word fiasco.
Fiasco means a thing that is a complete failure, especially in a ludicrous or humiliating way.
Well, I guess when it comes to Cortana, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is that she's always listening on my computer and she can answer almost everything. The bad news is she's listening all the time on my computer, and because I'm talking to myself, she knows everything I know, too. Well, there is one thing I do not need to ask Cortana, and that is, how does Murphy's Law go? Well, I know from experience it goes different ways. Maybe I better use my rubber ones here. It goes different ways in different locations. For instance, downstairs in the workshop, it's wood related. And up here, it's at the spray booth. And upstairs at the spray booth, it goes like this. When you're videoing something like what I was just doing there, everything goes absolutely perfectly until you press record. Yeah, this dark, it just, it just went perfect. No clogging, no nothing. Probably the best it's ever gone. But did I have record pressed? Nope. Now I realize that if I was to kind of rush at it a little bit here, I could probably get most, if not all, of these pieces glued in place. But I don't want to rush at it, I want to take my time. So I guess we'll have to leave them for episode 178 tomorrow. Meantime, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.